Welcome, everyone. I'm glad you all could make it in. And if anybody tells you that they're having trouble, have them just go ahead and call in and raise their hand, because they should have that option on their smartphone anyway. So if they can do that and they want to speak or, be introduced, being brought into a panel, we can do it that way. But what I'll do right now is just say hello to everybody. Welcome. We have 7 board members from the Youth and Ed Committee. And we have our guests for our first item, which is the expansion of the Harbor School on Governor's Island. And so with us is Nan Richardson and Amy.
Okay.
Thank you. And they helped, pretty much wrote the resolution that is in front of you today. As you remember, everyone, they were with us last month. And we are I want to just share with you some of the things that have happened between meetings. We have not only the resolution in front of you that really pushes the SCA and the DOE to identify a site for a permanent location for their pool, gym, and additional classroom space that you see them ask for in this resolution. Between meetings, we've also been working on the temporary solution, and we have connected with a marine engineer who pretty much knows every inch of the New York City shoreline. He is one of the directors of the Billion Oyster Project. He is one of the co-owners over at the One Brooklyn Marina, and we are working with him to help identify that place and develop resources for this temporary barge pool. So that's in process, and what we do want to share is that while that is one of the asks of this resolution, that the primary goal of the resolution is to draw attention to the permanent solution. We have an opportunity in this coming month or so to make an impact with the other things that are coming in front of the Governor's Island Trust and the City of New York, to make sure that we have a seat at the table with this. There's some ULURP happening, whether it's a ULURP happening, and there's some discussion about what's going to happen with certain buildings on the island. And so on this resolution, we have identified the buildings that the Harbor School feels as though are the best fit for them for this purpose. They've received feedback from the SCA that this is a logical ask, but there's been some handing back and forth between the Governor's Island Trust and the SCA on, is it money, is it the site, is it money, is it the site? And we know this because we've been here 100 times before with our schools. And so our goal for this is to get everybody to focus at the same time. We have the SCA saying that they're committed to it, and we have the Governor's Island Trust on a recent call with the City Council saying they too are prioritizing this. So this resolution is a further support of that in a timely manner. They cite this as they go to, commit the space on the island in these upcoming months. So if anybody has any questions for me or for Nan or Amy, please, board members speak now, engage in some conversation about it. Does everybody have time with the resolution? It just came today, sorry. If you haven't, take your time. We don't have many things to do tonight, so if you want to take your time and read through it now, please do.
Has this also been emailed to us? That I apologize. This is Wendy. I'm on my phone, so it's a little hard to read.
Jen, did you serve before the meeting?
I haven't been able to. What I can do is I can go ahead and email that out, or I can share that as a link in a chat box.
Yeah, the link in the top box works if that's easier. Whatever's easier for you, fine.
And Tricia, quick question. Sorry if you mentioned this and I missed it. Are we asking just for citing or citing and funding?
Both. Because it tends to be a little bit of a buck passing happening. So
Yep.
we just covered all the bases. And Nan, feel free to jump in. I think your mic is open. So please feel free to jump in. And,
Well, I was just going to say, we'd be happy to read it aloud too, if that helps Wendy or anybody else that's on the phone. It's not that long.
Sure. Let's do that. That's a great idea. Go ahead.
Sorry, just one quick question before we read it aloud, because it might be relevant for reference here. Do we know when Governor's Island submits its budget to the city? Have they already done that for the upcoming calendar year? Do we know? And if not, do we want to push to have this prioritized on the GI submission?
Well, I mean, this mostly, I mean, at least as far as I know, and you can correct me, I mean, this is mostly SCA money and money you have raised combined, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Are you expecting anything from Governor's Island?
No, I didn't know the Governor's Island ever paid out in this fashion at all.
No,
So, no.
sorry, not Governor's Island, the city. So as I understand, Governor's Island submits an annual budget to the city with a request for funding for certain aspects of activity on the island.
Yeah.
Just like we do as a community board of sorts.
I don't know whether this would come over their purview. It's a really interesting question because we're going after the typical channels, which right now are the SCA, and the SCA, has said to the Harbor School that they have to do some fundraising, that they cannot justify a pool straight out for the school, given what's happening with COVID and the city budget. So that good faith, this lot of money. And then the rest of it is getting an echo myself. You guys hear that?
Yeah.
It was an echo.
Oh, now you too, Jeff.
Jen, can you check settings? It looks like everybody.
It's everybody.
If somebody has the meeting up that can cause an echo.
I've never seen it happen for everyone. Though.
I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody. That works. One moment. Hello, can everyone hear me? Am I echoing?
Yes.
I don't echo.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you without an echo.
And I hear you without an echo, Andrew.
I hear myself with an echo.
Yeah, Andrew, you have an echo.
Not for me.
Everyone has a huge echo.
Not for me.
Yeah, for a couple of it's fine, but for me, apologies everyone. I'm going to see if I can solve this issue.
We might have to jump off and jump back on.
We may have to jump on. Back on.
I'm not sure if that would work. This is the first time this has happened.
I think it's worth a try, whatever we're trying.
Okay, Trisha, since I'm the host,
I think we all go out and try to come back in.
Right.
I don't see any other way to make it.
Have we tried muting Jen and giving Tricia host ownership? I didn't hear an echo. All of a sudden it's working.
Yeah, that's interesting, Andrew.
So I think it was Jen's line. Jen just went on mute.
Okay.
Jen, can you come off mute and speak again and see what happens?
yeah, can everyone hear me? Am I echoing?
Without an echo.
Looks like we're fixed.
That's strange. Okay.
Oh,
Let's see.
off.
Yeah, so she'll be coming back on.
And Wendy just came back in.
Yeah, Jeff logged off. So let's see.
Is it me?
Oh,
Is that, I feel like when I hit the document to read it, that's just when it happened.
interesting.
We had Jen and we had Nan and Jeff jump off, so I don't know if they were one of the sources, but we'll see.
All right, there's Nan.
I'm waiting for Jeff.
Nan, can you try to talk and see what happens?
Can you hear me? Testing
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Perfect.
Much better. Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna get my.
We haven't restarted, correct? I just want to make sure I didn't fall off.
No, we haven't restarted. We were just waiting for Jeff, who's now not here. Do you see him, Jen?
Fine, yep.
Oh, there he is. Okay.
Hi, Jeff, can you hear us?
Yeah, I hear you. I restarted. I thought we were all restarting. That's what I heard people saying. So I left the meeting and I came back.
Yes, it's all good. So whatever we did worked. So, okay.
Me.
Welcome back, everyone. And we were just about to have Nan read the resolution. So Nan, if you want to go ahead.
Okay, great. Whereas the New York Harbor School's core mission has not been fully fulfilled in the last 17 years as a result of not having proper facilities. Whereas the Harbor School is overcrowded and seats are in high demand as the only maritime marine school in New York City, with a growth area in jobs that need the diversity Harbor students represent proudly and well. Whereas the Harbor School has been asking for an aquatic training center as a central need in a program that involves daily teaching on the water and in boats. Whereas the Harbor School was promised a gym and 12 additional classrooms, and that ask was funded by the DOE SCA in 2018 after a previous request in 2012 was funded and rescinded in 2014. Whereas the DOE's only proffered option to date was to site the Harbor School gym in the only small patch of green space the school has on an island that measures 172 acres in area. Whereas the Trust for Governor's Island and DOE have stated that Building 555, 12 classrooms, has been reserved for New York Harbor School since 2018, but have yet to deliver the building to the school. Whereas at its founding, the Harbor School taught all students how to swim as a graduation requirement, a critical skill for marine jobs. They were forced to drop that skill after moving to Governor's Island, as the school had no way to train the students due to the lack of a pool. As the school's only transportation access is by ferry, and many aspects of the marine-based curriculum involve in-water engagement, this is a safety issue as well as an equity issue. Therefore, given the delays and lack of delivery of additional academic spaces, gym, auditorium, or a pool, the committee recommends the New York Harbor School be awarded by TGI Building 515, the former hospital, or another existing building of adequate space, as a part of its campus to enable the facilities needed for it to fulfill its mission, and that build out is funded by the SCA DOE. Therefore, further, the committee recommends that effective immediately, the Trust for Governor's Island name a temporary space for a pool facility to be used by the New York Harbor School that can be occupied for up to 7 years until the permanent building becomes available. And I'm sorry, what this leaves out is, Tricia, your edit about something about, with our consultation. Space, the site, with our consultation. I'm reading, I think, the penultimate version.
Yes, I thought I had put that in there.
Oh, no, here, it's on the website. I couldn't see the website before. With
Yeah.
the school's directors in consult. So
Consult. Because
Correct.
oftentimes they're going to cite something you don't want.
Yeah.
Anybody have any questions? None at all?
It's great.
It's a great resolution. Super comprehensive. So I'll give it a few more minutes to see if anybody has any thoughts or ideas. If not, we'll take it to a vote. The great news here is that everybody seems to be ready to go. It's definitely very reminiscent of what we've been through with schools being approved, where the seats are funded and they say they can't find a site, and then we find a site and they say why the site can't work or they can't really commit to the site, and then all of a sudden it just happens. And we're in this space in between, but there's nobody pushing back saying that this should not happen. So we're hoping the specifics here will help them, come together, which of course we're also working on outside meetings.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw my email this afternoon to you, Tricia, that Lorraine Gurla said to me this morning that there was another building that SCA had looked at but she didn't, for some reason, have that information before her. So even though she was very clear that the hospital building was her preferred site, and has been saying that to me for 2 years now, I wonder what this other building might be.
Yeah, really good question. And, you know, I would imagine, Nan, you're pretty familiar with the answer by now, but certainly we can find out what it was. The only concern I would have, seeing that she mentioned that to you today, would be that if she's getting pushback on the hospital, she might eventually turn her attention to that building. So, you know, we should really stay strong in the fact that you don't just need a pool. You know, you're really owed a gym and you need more classroom space. And they've funded that to a large extent already. And we've seen several times downtown how, you know, most recently with the Millennium Gym, how you can raise $1.5 million and then you can lose momentum when they can't find a space. There were plenty of spaces for this gym. They just weren't incredibly straightforward, and they required longer leases than the DOE was comfortable with. But we have an opportunity with the change over in some of the elected officials this coming year, with the ULURP that's happening. So I really feel as though this is the time to put a lot of pressure on people to move forward with a space that you really feel will best serve your program. You know, we've turned down places that they've come up with in the past because they just weren't right. And vice versa. They've turned down sites that we thought were right, like where the Trinity Place School is going in. They didn't want to build there. And now they're building there. So, I really think that's why I think the directors at the school have to be part of that decision, because it is your mission and the space has to be appropriate. And they have admitted that space could work. And so let's focus on that space if you think that's your space. Hear what they have to say about the other space. But,
Okay.
you know, you've done a lot of work on the island. You know what you need. Anybody else? Any ideas, thoughts, questions, concerns?
I echo you, Tricia, that I think timing wise, this makes, there's a lot of things happening. So I'm crossing fingers for everybody.
Me too.
Yeah, I was interested to. Sorry, I was interested to hear from Lorraine Grillo that she's retiring too. And I said, oh no, you're not retiring until we get this done. Please.
This is on her bucket list. This is what she shared.
Yeah.
So that made me feel really good.
Me too.
You know, we'll hold her to that. So, all right. Well, if there's no further questions, comments, we'll go to a vote. Jen, would you like to do a roll call for us?
Sure. If a member of the floor can call the question and someone else second, please.
Can I call the question? I'll call
I
it.
second it. I second it.
Okay. We'll go ahead and Tricia,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Sarah Castle,
Yes.
Wendy,
Yes.
Daron,
Votes yes.
Devin's not here, Dennis not here. Kaylin,
Yes.
Bob's not here. Judith. Judith? I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Yes.
Thank you. Andrew?
Zelter, yes.
Okay. And Sarah E.
She dropped off, it looks like. Let me see. You dropped.
I think she did. Okay.
I just texted her.
Hey guys,
Hi.
hello, it's me, Bob.
Oh, hey, Bob.
Okay.
I had trouble with the internet. Could I just ask what resolution you're voting on?
We are voting on the Harbor School
Oh, okay, thank
resolution.
you. Thank you.
Have you had a chance to read it?
I don't, but I trust that we're in the affirmative on that. I'd like to get a copy of the next resolution. I'll try to locate that, but yes, I vote yes.
Okay.
It's
If,
very
if
written. It's
everybody else is voting yes, I'm voting yes.
They are, and we
It's a-
lost Sarah, but I think we have a quorum, right, Jen? We
Hey, I
did.
showed up right on time. Okay.
You did. Sarah dropped off right when you came on, so that was amazing.
There's
She
limited
texted me.
internet access in Tribeca.
Okay, great. The resolution unanimously passes. That's wonderful. We're really excited to take that to our full board. And then I'll be in touch with you between meetings. Thank you again for your help with this today. You guys are amazing. You've been amazing partners, so we really appreciate it.
We thank you very much for all your help and your support.
Absolutely. You got it.
much. Thank you so
Very
much.
meaningful for us.
Absolutely. We're going to be sticking with it all the way.
All right, fabulous.
So we'll move on to our second item that just got sent to me yesterday. And is some concern that the New York City educators and school staff were not among the first group designated by the city to get the vaccine. And so I intend to write a resolution within the next week that is going to be about prioritizing our educators, because we're never going to have a momentum in terms of being able to go back to school and stay in school until we can protect our teachers and principals, in my view. So we are here to discuss this. If anybody wants to share different points of view or add to this discussion in any way, but it was surprising to me that they weren't right behind healthcare workers. And so, you know, I felt it was worthy of a resolution.
Trisha, this is Judy. I agree with you. Teachers in particular are essential workers, and they should be treated as such.
Yeah. Especially seeing this start-stop thing we're dealing with right now. It's, you know, very hard on our kids.
Trisha, also the janitors and the custodians and the service workers in the cafeteria and the secretaries, because they all come in contact with the students, all the school employees.
That's a good point. Thank you, Sarah.
Guys, I haven't seen the resolution.
There
but
is
I'm sure it does not include after-school programs, which are being not represented by unions, but being sent into after-school programs. Our Learning Labs program serving 276, 89, 234 is fully enrolled every day. There's no room in it anymore. And I would appreciate if someone could say Learning Labs and after-school work is there. I had a meeting with DYCD asking them, what's the plan? I don't want my people getting sick. And personally, I don't know why we just don't wait 8 more weeks to, you know, everybody gets vaccinated and, you know, open the schools up. Middle school programs are still not open, but if they do open them up, we think after school programs, Learning Labs and should be. And I've been looking into private testing and private vaccines to no avail. But I'm kind of worried about my staff, and I'm sure there are countless amounts of other community organizations and schools that are having the same questions. We're getting together tomorrow so if that could just be inserted in there too.
Absolutely. Got it. Anybody else?
I can't believe they're not, you know, I can't believe they're not commenting on teachers going in there, going home to their families. I do know that some of the health department workers that are going into the schools are being prioritized, but I don't know why they would be different than a school person.
I don't either, because they're talking general population end of April and the whole school year. So I think this is an incredibly important thing to be talking about right now as
Definitely.
the state and city goes to ration these things. So
I'm sure you're at the forefront of this. People are thinking about it, but even though if we don't get if we don't get at the same time as the firemen, we'll at least get, or the hospital workers will at least be getting, those teachers will be getting something.
absolutely. Okay, great. So you can expect the whereas and therefore be it resolves to look like just defining the importance of, getting our kids back to school. Fact that, I will get my data straight on how many teachers have fallen ill this fall. Mental health aspects of children not being able to be at school. And then therefore be it resolved that they are within the same path as, right behind our frontline healthcare workers. So with that in mind, I would love to move to a vote on this as well.
Trisha, if we're going to go ahead and ask someone on the floor to call the question, followed by the second.
I call the question.
Thank you. Trisha?
Yes.
Jeff?
Yes.
Sarah Castle?
Yes.
Wendy?
Yes.
Darren?
Everyone votes yes.
Jalen?
Yes.
Philip?
Yes.
Judith?
Yes.
Andrew?
Zelter, yes.
See Sarah E. Sarah? Sarah E.
Sarah E. can't get back in. She fell.
Yes, I'm on.
Oh, she's back.
Hey.
Okay, its motion passes.
Excellent. Thank you, everyone. Got two great things tonight, and that's the whole agenda. So thank you all for coming. It was really important that you were here to vote, and both of these really needed the support, so I appreciate it. And I wish you all, if not one of the strangest holiday seasons, I hope it's full of love and health, and
Yes, yes.
everybody stays safe and keeps some morale up. And
Yeah.
I look forward to talking to you all at the full board.
Thank you, Trisha. Thank you as always.
All right, everybody.
Thank you again.
Bye.
As always. Bye.